Timer's ticking. Last chance to hit those likes. Let's get the party started.
Yo! Yo! Yo, yo, yo! Hello? Yo! Is the mic on?
What's going on, guys? Good morning. Let's jump out of the stream today. I don't even know if you guys can hear me this morning. Let me know if you guys can hear that whisper. What's going on, guys? Happy Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. I forget what day it is every single day. It's usually not good. Early signs of Alzheimer's coming in for Jordan over here. What's going on, John? Nola. He said yes, Satan. Okay, get the like up. I gotta switch it up. You know, sometimes I gotta blow out your speakers. Sometimes I gotta make you worry. You know, is he okay? Right? Is he doing okay over there? It's already Transformer Week again. Transformer Week. It's decision time for BTC, my friends. Or at least we hope so, and we don't get a little one of these where we get a little triangle going on and we just go boop, 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 and we just end up going sideways again. What's going on, Mike, Franklin, Nola, Franco, Dion, Neil? I think Mike said it best. Right now is the time. Where is it? He said people are in the I don't care stage. Yeah, I think we're getting into that I don't care stage, which is perfect. I mean, you need to go through that stage where the majority of people don't care. You know, that's part of the crypto cycles, I guess. You have a sort of a year of absolute terror. You have a year of people don't care, and then, I mean, depending on what happens after that, year and a half of up, and you kind of go from there. But anyways, what's going on? What's going on, guys? We had like 100 and something people in here in the pregame lobby, and okay, we only had like 20 likes. What is that? I get it's a bear market, and even worse, I get it's a short-term crab market at the moment. But holy shit, guys, let's smack up that like baton. Apologize if the stream's a little laggy. We were having a little technical issues with the computer this morning. I was swearing at it. No, I wasn't. I actually wasn't swearing at it this morning. But there was a couple technical issues that it was lagging and whatnot, but we seem to be on track here. Let me know if it's lagging. Don't be trolling me, man. I know you guys are gonna say, Jordan, it's lagging. We can't hear you, and all that stuff. Nice haircut. I need one. Yeah, it's pretty fresh. I'm not gonna lie. Let's see. I just think this SPF stuff is going to wreck alts. Yeah, I think the short, the low cap altcoins. Are and that's why semi staying away from the low cap altcoins until further down the line. But yeah, I think the low cap alts are going to get hit pretty hard. I think the main ones, the strong ones, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Polygon, the ones who've been through the ringer, BNB, Chainlink. Even like Litecoin, which I don't like Litecoin, but it's been through the ringer. The ones who've been through the ringer, I think we'll end up being okay. But some of the low cap ones, oh man, we might get a little shadiness going on here. Guys, cheers, by the way. Today will be a little bit calmer of a stream. The morning stream is a little bit more calm, but not really much going on since yesterday. So, I thought I'd just kind of hang out and talk to you guys. And we'll look at a few different things that are going on. We're still waiting for Bitcoin's move, right? At the end of the day, I'm sick of this saying, but it's honestly the most perfect saying that you can have a time like this. We're waiting for the dust to settle, right? Bitcoin is coiling up, right? You're making lower highs, you're making higher lows in a little bit of a symmetrical triangle. I think symmetrical triangles are sort of meme patterns because they can break to the upside, then break to the downside. They can break to the side, right? So I personally think they're a little bit of memes. People can use them. It is what it is. It's usually a continuation pattern, which, the continuation pattern would bring us back down to the downside here if it was to break to the downside. But it's at least something that we can look at and say, okay, we should be expecting a move, even if it's a fake out within the next couple 4-hour candles. Like we said, we should see a move by today, my friends. Hopefully it's this morning. We got some interesting and spicy things going on in the charts here. NASDAQ getting crushed, DXY coming up. And sort of everything in between, which will that lead to Bitcoin coming back down to the downside? That's what we'll talk about today. We haven't gone anywhere up or down. Facts, we've been going sideways for 9 days now. 9 days in accounting. We should get one of those. If you guys live in a cave, which some of you guys do, the bottom dwellers live in caves. But they're slowly counting down the days on the wall until we hit that bottom. Which, even when we do hit that bottom, it still won't be enough. We're going to go lower once we hit the bottom, and there's going to be bottom dwellers forever. But that's okay. It is what it is. Dump City, market maker trap triangle, facts. We know how these usually work out. These things used to work out pretty freaking well, like back in the days when Bitcoin had lower liquidity. But now you got the big market makers in here. Like what they do is they bring it up just to bring it down. They bring it down just to bring it up. How many times have we seen that, especially in this bear market, man? It's been absolutely ridiculous. But anyways, let's jump on in. So if you were here yesterday, we're sort of waiting for the move, right? We're sort of in between a pretty big range. 19K is now, which was our previous support, now flipped into resistance. And unfortunately, and we're sort of in between that 14K level, which everyone and their mother is calling for right now. I don't think there's a lot of... Is there anyone not calling for 14K at this point? Like, guys, raise your hand in the chat. Raise your hand in the chat if you don't think Bitcoin's going to see 14K here within the next couple weeks. Let me know. I don't think I hear anything. All I think I hear is echoes at this point. Right? So we're sort of just oscillating in that range. Now, we talked about the measure move targets. Am I a big fan of measure move targets? No, but I know a lot of you guys are. So if we were to do a measure move to the upside, that would give us a target to the upside of somewhere around 19,600. It makes sense if that was to happen, right? So many people are short. Everyone's bearish right now. If they were to bring it up to trap new longs up here and to take out some of these short positions, it makes sense if they would do that, right? You got a giant wick up here in the 4-hour time frame. You got a 4-hour vector candle up here in this range. That would make sense. A lot of people wouldn't say that would make sense, but like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if they bring it up just to smack it back down to the downside. To me, that's the more logical standpoint, but Bitcoin's not always logical. Now, if they want to just dump it back down, all right, if they just want to smack it back down, right, smack it all over the floor like we say with Akon. That joke is getting old at this point. But that would put you down at like 13,500, which is right at that, right in that 14K region. So that's what we're kind of waiting for at the moment. We're waiting for some volatility. We ain't getting any volatility right now, but today could be the day with it looks like the stock market wants to have some volatility today. Looks like the DXY wants to have some volatility today. Could make it for a fun day today, guys. And we'll look at that all and everything in between this morning. Let's see. No one on the planet thinks it's going to pump. No one on the planet thinks it's going to pump. And that leads me to this. And I'm not going to say this means anything, right? But if you guys follow Gainsey, Gainsy's a good follow on Twitter, by the way. He's pretty funny, and he posts some inappropriate stuff too, but he's a good follow on Twitter. He put a poll out there, and this has 7,000 votes. And this is on Twitter. This ain't on YouTube, right? So you have more normies on Twitter, right? People who watch YouTube videos, I would say, are more crypto fans. You don't really get an accurate poll, right? People are more generally bullish who watch crypto videos on YouTube. But people on Twitter, you get more normies in here, right? And he asked, is the bottom in? Okay, 7,000 votes, right? And we got 75% say no, 25% say yes. Now, this doesn't have to mean anything. What I would say, if this was like 10% yes, that would probably mean something. This is still a little bit, 25% think the bottom is in. We need absolute craziness in the market. We need like 10% that people think that the bottom is in, right? For the bottom to be like, okay, this is ridiculously over leveraged on one side, right? But 25%, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I thought this was interesting. And we look at some of the comments, right? I mean, I don't think so. Bottom's 10K. Not a chance in hell. Someone said yes. Nice. Braband said yes. Nice job, man. Woohoo! Braband.
Strap up. We're going to the moon.
Let's see. Holy shit. But you get some interesting comments in there. Not that I think this means anything, but I always think it's fun to look at these sentiment polls and kind of see where everyone's head's at. Franco, how the F do I do that? Daniel said I could care less about the bottom anymore. Me either, man. I think we're in the accumulation range. I don't care if the bottom's already in. I don't care if the bottom's 14K. I don't care if the bottom's 12K. I don't care if the bottom's 10K. I don't care if the bottom's 8K. I mean, if the bottom was 3K, I'd probably care a little bit. But here's the deal. To me, it's worthless to be calling for a bottom, man. I think that's just what makes it fun. Like, who can call the bottom? Who can be the smartest person in the room? Listen, the people who call the bottom will be lucky. Everyone will think they're a genius, okay? And then you'll sort of go from there. Like I've said, like, everyone's right sometimes. A broken clock's once right a day. A lot of people who were right in the previous bull market about Bitcoin's going to go into a bull market, they were wrong about the top. A lot of people who were right about the top were wrong about the bottom. Okay, so no one is always correct. And that's why I always say do your own research and stuff like that. Anyways, let's see what we got. So yeah, we're waiting on this break, right? We're waiting on this break. I think, something we could look at is the 4-hour RSI level here, where we got this upward sloping RSI level. It looks like Bitcoin wants to at least kind of flirt with it right now. If you see, it's kind of flirting below. The 4-hour closes in 1 hour. So, man, if the stock market opens red and Bitcoin opens red here, that could be the sign where Bitcoin might be breaking this triangle to the downside, my friends, right? So let's pay attention to this while we're on the stream here today, boys. Let me see what you guys saying. Glad I was stacking cash last month. I'm dead inside. I'm dead inside. Most everyone with money lost at FTX and the contagion. Where are all the buyers now? Very true. I got my scuba gear ready. Saggy. Bam Bams, that's a sign the bottom is nearing. True. We said I'm dead inside. Some guys already like that. Dale's in here saying it's bearish.
Bitcoin is bearish.
Like I said, guys, if I had to guess if the bottom is in or not, I would say no. I would say no at this point. But if I'm wrong, I'd be very, very happy. If there was ever a time where I wanted to be wrong, now is the time. Now is definitely the time where I wanted to be wrong. Anyways, daily chart, just still in the range. 16K, 17.6, right? 17.6 is the daily level. If Bitcoin can reclaim 17.6 on a daily close, I think you're going to look okay here in the short term. But we're very far away from that, right? We're about at $1,100 below that. Why that level? Well, that's the previous low. If Bitcoin was able to reclaim that on close, that'd be awesome. We struggled with that on the first attempt, where we had that day where Bitcoin bounced like 15%, yet altcoins bounced super, super high. We attempted to. We actually got above it, but then look where we closed. We closed right at that level. So until Bitcoin closes a daily up here, I'm not going to get too excited. And I definitely won't get too excited until Bitcoin breaks a daily back above 19K, which is the daily close lows all throughout this range. Because that's going to be a hell of a resistance at this point. And it's going to be a tough battle to fight. Like all the Vikings and everyone in between is going to have to pack up their gear and sort of try to fight to get back above that level. But 17.6 is that first level I'm eyeing if Bitcoin can get a room to the upside, right? But it's the same point. If Bitcoin breaks 16K, man, I mean, we just go over the weekly just for a quick second, right? I mean, you just look down. There's nothing there in the weekly between here and 13,800. So it could be a quick move back down from that region if Bitcoin wants to make a new low. So it could be quick. It could be fast, and that could be that point where it's like it sweeps whatever the low is, right? Gets everyone because listen. The crypto sentiment right now is already the worst I've ever seen it. By far. It's not even close. The fear and greed index is completely false. There's no way it's not the lowest it's ever been. I haven't seen it like this. Even people who love crypto are ridiculously bearish at the moment. I don't see anyone that's bullish at all, to be honest. And that's where we're at, right? Hold on. Cheers. Cheers. Let's take a sip of water here. Man. Some good H2O. Good H2O. Daniel, what's going on, buddy? Take care. You too. You too, buddy. Let me see. I got 10 let's see. Curious to see what percentage of tweets I receive begin with the words just in. Just in. Warning. Emergency video. Anyways. The one thing I'll continue to say here at this region, and I still think this is such a big support level. It's interesting how, where we are in sort of the trend, right? We're still above previous all-time highs on total. We're still above previous all-time highs on total 3. And kind of like we said yesterday, if you actually take Bitcoin, right, on the weekly time frame, and how everyone always says, okay, the previous all-time high, a lot of people think it was in April, right? And a lot of people were drawing their Fibonacci targets from the 2019 lows to the November highs. If you actually did it from the April highs, right here, that would actually put Bitcoin right at the 786 retracement right now, which I think is fascinating because not only you're at the 786 Fibonacci with Bitcoin where it is now, you're also right at its, sort of a total market cap and everything in between. So it's an interesting level. I think not enough people paid attention to the 16K level when we first dropped there. Everyone thought, okay, we break 17.5, we're going straight to 14. Well, that hasn't been the case yet. I'm not going to say you're not going to just have a continuation to the downside here. But so far, I mean, we're holding the line. We're holding the freaking line at the moment. Let me see. Just had my protein shake. Oh, get ready for the farts, man. Get ready for the protein shake farts. Those ones smell the worst. Yeah, you need to go lock yourself in the bathroom with those farts because those ones are the worst. Those are the ones where you do it and you're not sure if something came out the other end, So you definitely need to go in there. Make sure you check the underwear too. Bob didn't check his underwear yesterday, and there was like I don't even know what was in there, man. But it smelled like shit. Weekly is weak. Let's see. I surrender my sword. You surrender your sword, Keith. Everyone's surrendering their sword. Another thing we can look at real quick, guys. And real quick, let's look at the NASDAQ. So the NASDAQ's pulling back today. Makes sense, right? We hit the 0.5 retracement. Still, you might call me crazy here. I still think the NASDAQ is a little bit more upside to the 618. Every bear market rally has came up to that 618 retracement. Every single one. So still waiting on that patiently. You got the DXY, which is, let's see. Come on, DXY, low, buddy. DXY came in and bounced right off that support level, man. Right? Resistance, support, bounced right off that support level. looking for that support level to hold there ultimately. But so far, DXY getting a little retracement. It's been one day. I mean, I'm not going to get too up in arms about one day of a retracement. Got to have a little patience with this. But that was a big support level for the DXY. You know what I noticed? The little box doesn't show up because of the green screen filter thing. So you guys can't even see that box, I don't think, which is pretty funny. Yeah, you can't even see the box. Oh, no, yeah, you can. You can see the outline of the box. Nice, dude. I was always like, I forgot. I was like, it's green. It's probably not going to show up. And now I look, and good thing that all the times I was talking about the green box and you guys wouldn't be able to see it. That would have been hilarious. Not really that hilarious, but just like, get your jar ready. Dude, I will sell you a fart jar. You want it for 50 cents? It's yours. And I'm telling you, if you want a Jordan fart jar, 50 cents, I will send it to you. You have to pay shipping, though. So you have to pay shipping plus 50 cents. And we got a deal. All right? Let me see. Obviously, many are baking lower. True. Let me see what you guys are saying here. Obviously, we're in wave 5. I mean, if you're an Elliott wave guy, I know some of you guys are Elliott waves. You guys know my take on Elliott waves. I think you can be very ominous with that. Like, you can take an Elliott wave from anywhere and be like, this is an Elliott wave. You know, like any move could be the wave. But like, if hold on, let me bring up the little. Where's my arrow? There it is. You could be like, all right, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is the 5th wave. And this could go lower, the 5th wave, and it probably does at this point, right? But I mean, you can look at this in so many different ways. I mean, you could say, I don't even know, man. I mean, you could say 1, 2, 3, 4. There's so many different ways you can draw Elliott wave. And I agree that the market moves in waves, right? Where you get the rise, the retrace, the continuation. But at the same point, you could take that from anywhere, right? You could take that from anywhere. 2, 3, 4, 5. Anyways, this is an obvious count, though. Not hard to see at all. I know what you're saying, Wayne. I could actually see what you're saying, actually. On that one, you guys know my take. I'm like, Elliott waves, man. But no, like, I can actually see where you're coming from. I can see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can actually see that one. For once in my life, I see an Elliott wave, man. Let me see. I got an actual Viking sword. It's very fun and tiring. You actually go outside and wave it around. You probably look like that guy, with the SBF guy who was going nuts. You know? You probably look like that guy, my man. Anyways, something interesting we look at. Let's look at this. We haven't looked at this in a while. This is the crypto search terms, okay? So we can look at crypto search terms, Bitcoin search terms, and kind of see where we're at. Like, what is people's sentiment? Now, the last 2 weeks, you've seen that come up, right? Because obviously Bitcoin's been dumping. You had a lot of news outlets talk about crypto because of this whole FTX shit. So obviously it's going to pop up the last couple weeks. But if you see where it was before, back in like October, I mean, you were pushing significantly lower. Not this can't go lower, but you can see that the interest is just dying off very, very, very slowly. If you actually go to Bitcoin, it's even worse. Let's go to Bitcoin real quick. So Bitcoin, all the way back down to a 9, which, I mean, you talk about a 9, I mean, you're talking about levels that were Bitcoin interest, right? People searching up Bitcoin, literally at the same interest levels that you were in, like the bear market times back in 2019. So people ain't searching Bitcoin. People don't care, right? This is web search. If you go to YouTube search, let's see what this looks like. YouTube search. I guess YouTube search maybe is still slightly higher there. But the fascinating thing I see is, like, we go over here, crypto. I guess the one thing I could take from this is if you go back in time, right? Let's go back to the past 5 years. And you sort of look, okay, it's 35. Where was I looking the other day? Shit. United States. I don't want just the United States. Give me worldwide, man. What is this? What is this? 25, 130. So I was looking at the other day. I was like, okay, 22 back in the 2018 peak, right? And we ended up coming all the way back down to like 4 or 5 seemed to be the bottom. So about 1/4 to 1/5. If you take 100, the peak of crypto, which I guess technically was, I mean, this makes sense. The peak of crypto technically was like January of 2021. And you look at where we're at now, or where we were, it's like a 30. So we're about 1/3 of that. Does that mean that we have lower to go based on sentiment? Maybe. I don't know. But I thought this was interesting to look at. I always like to look at this stuff and kind of see who's searching what and whatnot. Let's go back to the web search. And this one came back down even more. This came back down to a 20 versus 100. So this one actually came down 1/5 of the high. Where this one, a 34 to a 6, which is about 1/6. And this one came back down from 100 to about 20. So about 1/5. This probably tells me based off sentiment, just based off the previous bear market, that you get about 1/6 of people caring about crypto from the highs to the lows. And right now we're about 1/5. Kind of makes sense. I think that makes a little bit of sense, which probably means that we still have a little bit more to go. But I do think we're closer to the bottom than the top. I do think that's definitely true. Search on cold storage, Treasure Ledger, and see how many people are still running for the hills. Cold storage, let's see. Let's see Ledger. That's a good one. Ledger. Searching crypto to make sure they don't have connections to SBF for some reason. Contagion. Ledger. I mean, look at this. This is incomplete data, but the Ledger search terms looks like they're coming all the way up to October. I don't know why this peaked in October 2019. But it looks like they're coming up. Let's see. Cold storage. We're just looking at something different today, guys. Cold storage. It's coming up a little bit. It's not actually as high as I would think it would be, which is slightly worrisome. I mean, listen, another exchange is going to go down. People are going to cry about it, but I mean, at this point, like I said yesterday, guys, like at this point, if you haven't got your money off exchanges and something happens, that's on you at this point, man. Like, it is what it is at this point. Like, I especially if you pay attention to the space. If you're just a normie who, okay, I'm going to buy some crypto on, I don't know, Coinbase once a month, $50 once a month, and sort of just leave it there, but you don't pay attention to the space. Okay, I get it. All right, you don't pay attention. But if you're here paying attention and you don't take your money off exchange at this point, I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't. But cheers. Cheers this morning, guys. But you can see, I mean, interest is dying off. You can see that sentiment is extremely low. 25% of people think 75% of people don't think the bottom is in. I would actually be in that 75% if I had to agree. But you can see that the general sentiment is wearing off. And now I think we're going to be in that grinded out stage where we probably stay in a general range for a significant period of time, which is the grinded out stage, right? You have price capitulation and then you have time capitulation. I think, we're getting close to the price capitulation. Whether like we said, it could be anywhere in a big region, from, I don't know, let's just call it 8K to 16K or something like that. It could be anywhere in that region. That's the price capitulation. But then you have the point where price goes sideways for an extended period of time and just wipes out interest, makes people don't care about crypto. And that's probably the worst part of the cycle, in my opinion. Down, I think it's a little bit of fun, right? To be honest, if you're a long-term holder, that's kind of fun. It is. Most people don't look at it that way, but because most people just want to get rich quick and they don't understand that lower prices equals more returns in the future. But it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, the worst is the sideways grinded out stage. And I think we're almost at that stage. Not quite yet, though. Not quite yet. I think there's still some shit that still has to go down here. We're almost at this stage, in my opinion. Let's go look at this chart here. I think we're at. So if you look at the previous cycles, I think we still got some room to possibly come down here, which I don't rule out, guys. I think most people think that anyways, so I don't think I even have to tell you that. We still have some room for downside, but the worst part is this sort of grinded out stage right here, which is just chop suey most of the time. Like even in 2019, you had a major run, but it was mostly chop. Like this period right here was super, super boring. And then I think that's where we're almost at. But this is where the game changers come in, man. It's where the game changers come in. I mean, you can see it right now. I mean, every news article, Bitcoin's dead. But it's just funny because every single time this happens, and people just don't look at what's happened in the past and say, okay, look at what happens every single time people start calling Bitcoin dead, right? All the crazy shit happens. You have hacks. You have all this stuff in the past. People just don't look at the past, and they just say, okay, Bitcoin's dead this time again. You know, it cracks me up because at 60K, oh my God, man! If you guys, when we were at 69K up here, okay, earlier this year, later last year, and we would have told you that a year later you'd be sitting at 16K, you'd be licking your freaking chops. Why? Because the prices were high and the sentiment was high. You believed in crypto at that point, right? The sentiment was super, super high. You'd be like, I skip up everything at 16K. Now we're at 16K and no one wants anything to do with it because the sentiment's low. It's a constant cycle, man. And then when Bitcoin starts making its way back up to 25, 30, 35, everyone's going to be like, shit, man. Because the sentiment's going to be high. No one's going to be like, damn, I wish I could buy a 16K, 14K, 15, 12. It's a constant cycle, man. And right now is the shitty time because right now you get trolled. Right now, you know, oh, you're an idiot. But this is the time where if you accumulate, everyone's going to call you lucky again. And trust me, if you've been in this space the last couple months, it ain't luck, man. We've gone through some horrible days. We've gone through a lot of boring action. Don't let anyone call you lucky in the future, man, because you ain't lucky. Most of them went away, bro. All right? And they'll be back on Twitter 2-3 years from now saying, oh, you just got in early. You were lucky. No.
Nope.
We ain't playing that game, man. We went through a lot of dark days for this shit, okay? A lot of dark days. But cheers, my friends. Cheers. We're going through it together. That's all we can ask for, I guess. A lot of you guys have been here since Bitcoin was at 60K the first time, right? And now we're here. So we've been through pretty much a whole cycle together at this point, which is pretty cool. Dude, my chops are lipping to the nub. I just want higher prices now. Yeah, I think that's where we're all at. I mean, to be honest, like I wouldn't be mad at lower or higher at this point, and because I'm not going to be selling at these prices anyway. So to me, it doesn't really matter. Truth. Neil said crypto is over. Excuse me. Drew said anyone in this group loses crypto in a future exchange fall is definitely on you. We've had so many warning signs in so much time. Facts. And I don't mean to sound like a dick, but like, if you bet in the space and you lose money on exchange at this point, I can't. I don't want to be like a dick, but I can't. All right, before FTX, I got it right. FTX was a very, very valid exchange, and like you had a little bit of trust in the bigger exchanges. Now, don't trust anyone, man. I don't care who it is. Don't trust Coinbase. Don't trust Binance. Don't trust any one of these big exchanges. If it happens at this point, I can't. I don't want to say I can't. I won't have sympathy because that's a little bit harsh. I'm trying to say it in a nice way. I don't know, man. But you get the point. You get the point. Anyways, yeah, this is where we are. Anyways, man, what else do we got, man? I'm just kind of going through and listen. If we look at it like this, right? And I'm just looking at this from a logical standpoint and what we have left. Like a lot of the stuff we looked at got destroyed, and that's what we got going on. Looks like Bitcoin is trying to get a bounce off support again. So we're kind of just up, down in this triangle, and it's getting tight. It's getting real tight in here, my friends. It's getting real tight in this bitch. All right. So what else do we got going? So right here, guys. So we just look at, sort of what we got. And this is still another sign that we could still see lower, all right? And you got to be okay with that at this point, right? If you look at, kind of where we are, and we just got everything labeled here. Bitcoin takes a year to about a year and 2 months to bottom out. Okay, if you look at where that would be now, so obviously back in 2014, right, we have the red space here, which is sort of the downwards, capitulation phase of the crypto market, right? Took 59 weeks in 2014, took 52 weeks in 2019. So far, it's been about 52 weeks. So you could expect Bitcoin to keep going down, I think, for another possibly, up to 2 months at this point, right? You got to be okay with that. And I think that's perfectly logical, especially after this FTX shit. You got to be okay with that, right? So we're kind of still in that red phase. Expect, I would say, be hopeful. I think it's always good to be positive and try to be hopeful, but I'll also stay cautious again. And don't be like, okay, if this dumps another, 20, 30, 40%, don't be like, holy shit, man, it's over. And then you sort of sell it at 10K and then rinse and repeat for the next cycle. But, sort of be okay with it still going down for up to another 2 months. I know that's a long time, but that goes down by like this, man. That goes by like this. Like this, like this, like this. It's been a year since the highs. That went by so fast. And then this is the worst part of crypto, in my opinion. This right here is the orange space where that's the time capitulation, right? You got price, right? Bringing price down to make people scared to sort of get them out of the market. The worst is the sideways, man, where you just chop it out sideways, slightly up but sideways. Get people to be like, this is ridiculous. I'm not waiting anymore. Sideways capitulation's worse. And I've always said that. And I'll always say that. Sideways capitulation is worse. You get more people who sell during sideways than down. I'm actually pretty convinced of that. Why? Because down, they can tap support, people get to sell. Tap support, get people to sell. Tap support, get people to sell. I don't think we're at that point yet, but we are almost there, in my opinion. And that's another 78 weeks up into the halving. Okay, typically, right? 78 weeks back in 2015, 75 weeks from the lows to the halving in 2020, right? And then over here right now, depending on where we bottom out, you should be expecting somewhat soon you enter that orange phase where you kind of just chop it sideways forever. Let the big boys accumulate, while retail kind of sells out. And yeah, and then eventually we get to the halving. You're in that green zone, but we're still far away from that. So I think you got to look at this realistically and say, okay, here's where we're at. Expect more downside based off previous cycles. Okay, be okay with that, and then go from there, right? And go from there. I'm just looking at this from a logical standpoint. I'm not. Being like it's gonna bottom at 10K. So this is where I'm selling my whole portfolio now. I will sell it all back at 10K. No, I'm not gonna be one of those guys. There's a lot of those guys that I see on Twitter. It's like I'm buying everything I have at 10K, or I'm buying excuse me, I'm buying everything I have at 3K. Okay, but what's your plan if it doesn't go there? And that's what I always like to ask. Cautiously optimistic. Yes, cautionably optimistic. You know what I mean? I definitely think you got to stay cautiously optimistic right now. Don't be surprised if the market drops more, man. And look at as, dude. I don't know. Let me ask you guys. Have you ever seen the crypto sentiment this bad right now? Have you ever seen it this bad? Let me know. Let me know. It's never been this bad. Just remain vigilant. I have less than $200 left on exchange, and as soon as it clears, it's gone too. Nice, dude. Yeah, I mean, I basically have money on exchange that's my limit orders if Bitcoin goes to 14K, 12K, or 10K. Other than that, everything is in a wallet at that point. The only thing I have exchanges is the money that I plan to buy, and that's it is what it is, right? I mean. If I want to have limit orders, I guess I got to have money on there for them to hit, if in case they hit. But that's really it. Any crypto that I own, get that shit off there. So all right, 16,695. Bitcoin's back up to the highs of the triangle, the meme triangle as we call it. Right? We have our targets to the upside or downside, and we're waiting for a break. Let me extend this resistance over and the support over, just in case it hits those. And we'll go from there. Let me extend this over here. Whoop, whoop. Come back, boy. Excuse me. There we go. No, because back in the day, we didn't have as many channels to talk about how we felt at the time. You could say, yeah, you could say that, Drunk Bear. I guess that's true. No. This is my first bear. But yeah, that's very, very true. I think back in the days, not as many people, there weren't as many places to talk about it on YouTube. There weren't as, crypto Twitter wasn't a thing. It wasn't really that big of a thing back then. And yeah, there wasn't really too many things to talk about back in 2017, 2018, right? That was like the first real mainstream bubble was in 2017. So there wasn't the same avenues to talk about crypto. That's definitely for sure. All right, I think we talked about most of the scheisse at the moment. Let me see. just move them around. Wire say pumping. My short. We'll see Java tonight. DL Neil Bogdanoff. Where's Dale right now?
Bitcoin is bearish.
I need Dale to say it's gonna dump so it can pump.
Pumped.
Oh man, oh man. That's where we're at. All right, let's see what else. Anything else I wanted to say here? Oh, Becker said it interestingly here. Becker. Some things I like when sometimes Becker says stuff. Becker about this FTX shit. He said, after how the media has covered Sam, and I totally agree, man. Don't ever trust the media. I've always said this. The media pushes narratives. Every problem you see in especially the United States is media driven. It's not even really a problem. It's media driven. Everything you've seen the last 3 years as far as an issue is the media trying to push something so they can push some type of law or divide people, right? It's not actually an issue. He said, after how the media has covered Sam, I literally can't even trust these people to give the scores of sports games, honestly, if it doesn't fit their narrative. Facts. It's absolutely so true. And I think this is waking a lot of people up to the media. Don't trust anything the news says, man. They're getting paid to say that shit, okay? And I still find it so hilarious that so many people watch the news and don't formulate their own opinion. They just listen to what the news says. Said, look at all this chaos these people have caused the last 2 years, with how easily and carelessly they will lie to push the narrative they like. How much suffering has been caused and enabled that was based on complete false coverage. Facts. And this is just in crypto. Imagine all the media shit that was pushed outside of crypto that have caused so many people pain because the media was paid off or whatever to push a narrative. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. There's so many examples I can give, but I'm not going to do it because this is not a political channel. But it's absolute facts. Facts. It's crazy, dude. That's the thing. Don't listen to the media, man. Don't do it. Don't do it. You can say the same thing with crypto, right? Every crypto bottom, crypto's dead, right? You got JP Morgan. I don't think Bitcoin's ever going to come back. What did JP Morgan say at the highs? I could see Bitcoin hitting 300K the next year. You know what I mean? You can't make this shit up. They push the narrative. Oh, they're bullish on Bitcoin at the highs, bearish at the lows. They're like horse guy. No, they do that because they want retail to form a win at the highs, and they want retail to sell at the lows while they're doing the opposite. You know what I mean? It's the same thing over and over and over again. Let's see. They don't care. Facts. Straight pronounces the typos. He's like Ron Burgundy. Dude, I just read. Whatever I see on the screen, I just read. So if you guys said anything inappropriate, don't do that. Don't do that. If you guys say anything inappropriate, I just read it, dude. I have no, I don't read the message before I say it. I just read it. You know? Jordan, I need to know, what is for lunch today? What is for lunch today? I don't know, man. What should I have for lunch today? Egg sandwich, probably. I usually make a nice 4-egg sandwich with some avocado and some oat nut bread. That's usually my go-to breakfast / lunch, whatever you call it. John said, I don't care. Warren Buffett and them are all George. True. True, my friends. True. We know you stop halfway through most of them. I really do. I really do. Let me see. Let me see what you guys are saying in here. Started from the top, now we're here. Facts, dude. Some of you guys have been watching this shit. It still blows my mind. Some of you guys have been watching me since like March of last year. And some of you guys were even before I started streaming. Some of you guys were watching my videos from like 2020. You know, which is crazy to me. And you guys still haven't gotten sick of me. I'm easy to get sick of. You know, I say the same things. I say it is what it is. The same stupid dad jokes and everything in between. But here we are. Jordan, if you read the message, no matter what it says, that makes you Ron Burgundy from Anchorman. Ron Burgundy? That's true. That was actually a good movie back. I haven't seen that movie in a long time, but that's a good movie. Any movie with Will Ferrell in it is a great movie. Great movie. In my opinion, the best comedy actor of all time. You can shoot me. Guys, who do you think the best comedy actor of all time was? Let me know. Let me know. To me, it's got to be Will Ferrell, bro. It's got to be Will Ferrell. And you can make the argument of Adam Sandler, too, I think. Anyone other than that? No. Those are the two goats of comedy, in my opinion. Rafi said, been watching you for a year. I'm surprised you're not sick of me yet. No, the only person I'm sick of in the chat is Clint. I'm just kidding. Not Clint. I think I'm sick of, shit, who am I sick of? Actually, I'm not really sick of anyone. Maybe only Clint. Scotty? Yeah, I would say it's got to be Will Ferrell, Adam Sandler, in my opinion. No, not Jim. Listen, Jim Carrey's a different. I know people say some people say Jim Carrey. I would say Jim Carrey to me isn't funny. He's just how could I explain this? He's just awkward. I don't know is the word. He's a different type of comedy, in my opinion. I always thought Chris Tucker was pretty funny. Yeah, Chris Tucker has some good movies too. For sure. Robin Williams. Robin Williams? Jim Carrey's insane. Is he? Gene Wilder. All right, let's see what the markets are doing. So the Nasdaq's bouncing back up a little bit. That's why you're probably seeing Bitcoin bounce back up a little bit. DXY is still just chilling like a villain today on this Thursday. I'm shocked. Let's see what's going to happen tonight, guys. And here we go. Right, we'll find out tonight. So I think I'm going to call a stream. I think we talked about pretty much everything we can talk about right now. We're just waiting on Bitcoin's next move, right? Which I do think you'll see by the end of the day today. You sort of have to see a move by the end of the day today. To be fair. So I'll catch you guys later. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you guys are there. Like up the stream if you haven't already. If you guys are new, which hopefully there's a couple of new you guys in here. Hopefully that'll be nice. Make sure you guys subscribe. And I'll catch you guys in about 8 hours from now, which is not that long from now. And hopefully we'll see a different price other than 16,600 for Bitcoin, because holy moly, man. This range is turning into the new 19K. 19K and 16K is the new 19K, apparently. All right. Catch you guys later. See ya later. And we'll see what Bob, Jabba, Horse Guy, Mike, everyone in between has to say at 7 p.m. All right. Later. Peace. Chris Farley.